Good morning, everyone. This is Ida with Created to Create. I wanted to share a project with you, and I've had questions on how I make my butterfly embellishment, so I'm going to share that with you. And to be honest, this is really difficult to make if you don't have some type of die cutting machine or a die. But I'm trying to share things that you could do, to make embellishments, hopefully a little bit more economical than versus buying a Brother Scan Cut or a Cricut or a Sizzix or Big Shot or whatever, because there are other options that are a little bit more economical. And usually when you make an embellishment, it's usually a small one, so it's small dies like these. And there are several machines out on the market that are pretty small, and I'm going to share with you the one I use, and they're normally under $40, I'm sure, like probably way under $40. And sometimes you can find them at a real good deal. But the one that I use is this little Anna Griffin machine, and let me tell you, this little machine, I use this 9 times out of 10. I grab this machine because mostly when I'm working on something, it's embellishments to add to my projects. So this is the little one that I use, but I know Tim Holtz has one, and I know probably Cuttlebug has one. I know there's different ones, but like I said, this is the one I use, and I know I paid under $40. And the beauty of this is that it's really small. Like, here's my hand, and here's the machine. It's really small. And what this does, it's got this little rubber mat on the bottom that you can actually suction it onto your work table by turning this lever, but I normally don't because I move it out of my way. But anyway, it's got these little tabs right here that close up, and you can open them to put them away. Mine usually stays like this in a corner somewhere. I don't really mess around with closing it and putting it away and all that because I'm constantly grabbing for it. So anyway, if you want to make some type of embellishment and you're not really real good at fussy cutting, but some people are. So if you're good at fussy cutting, then you're good. Just get some type of printed image and fussy cut around it. Now I'm going to share with you how I like to make mine, what I like to use. But, that's just the way I do it. Everybody has a different way of doing things, but this is the way I do it. And this is just something especially for beginners where you don't have to invest in a big machine. Try getting something really small and a set of dies or something. And normally the dies either go on sale or you can use a coupon at your stores. And just pick out something that you really like, whether, something that you're going to use all the time, whether it be a butterfly, a dragonfly, a heart, a flower. So anyway, this is the one that I use. And there is several, it does come with the standard cutting mats for it. And it comes with, I think it comes with the C plate. And it does come with the A base plate. And I want to say, it doesn't come with the little ones. I think it came with the long ones, but I wanted the little ones. So it does have some, actually, I have them right here. I think these are the ones that came with my machine, the long ones, the A and the C cutting plate. But I don't hardly ever use these unless I'm doing like a rosette and it's a long die. Then I would use that. Normally I use the little ones because I'm always cutting something small. But you can get other accessories. For example, I got the embossing one and the magnetic die cutting for when you want your die to be in a certain position and you don't want it to move. And then I got this, the die cut and embossing, which I will show you what this one does. It has a rubber flexible mat, almost like a silicone mat. And then it has the firmer one. And what that does, when you cut out a butterfly, so here it is already embossed. And I'm going to cut one and see how you can see the raised edges. I'm going to cut one and show you what it looks like when you don't use the embossing, the die cut and embossing F plates. So they all have letters, and that one would be the F. And I'm going to kind of move it out the way, and I'm going to share with you what I use. Your A, of course, is your first plate at the bottom. And then I'm just going to grab any die and a piece of, I thought I had one here. That's not going to show that well. So I'm just going to cut a piece of paper, and I'm going to And this is a great way, guys, to use your scraps as well. So I'm just going to take a little piece of paper, a little scrap, and I'm going to cut the piece that I need for my butterfly, to cut out my butterfly. And like I said, this is a great way to use that. So normally what I do, I put this upside down, then I put this in there. And then I get the A plate and flip it with the A facing away from me. And there's my sandwich to go into my machine. And I'm going to move my machine over, and hopefully it didn't shift. It shifted a little bit. Make sure your paper doesn't shift. So I'm going to run it through. I'm going to run it through, and I'm going to show you. A lot of times y'all ask me, you know, how to use the machines. Really, it's just a matter of putting it in your machine and cranking it. I mean, that's all there is to it. So let me move these out of the way, and I'm going to share with you what this looks like without being embossed. Then I'm going to put it in back again and emboss it. So there is a tool. This is the tool and there's several tools out there that you can use to kind of get your paper out of your die. And I want to show you the difference between the one that I didn't use the embossing folder and the one that I did. There's a big difference in them. So you can see the raised edges on this and not on this one. Now I'm going to run it through the machine. And usually when you want to emboss, don't remove it from your die, because sometimes they tend to shift after you've released them. I think this one will be okay, so I'm going to try it. So when I want to emboss, the way I use that is I would use my A plate. I would put my butterfly back in here, my die cut, and then I would use my F plate, and my E plate, which is I put this on top, and then I would put this on top, and then I run it through my machine. Hopefully it didn't shift on me. I hope I didn't shift. And I just run it through, and now you're going to see the difference when this comes out at the other end. It's going to be embossed. But I highly recommend that you get some type of die cutting machine. If you want your work to look as close to store-bought as possible, I think that one of these machines is absolutely necessary. That's just my opinion. And that's what I do, and that's what I use. So here, let me share it with you. Now look at it. See how nice the embossing features are on this? It's really, really pretty. Now at this point, if I wanted to add color, I could just take a little sponge with some type of color or mousse and just kind of just rub on the surface, and all the raised edges would pick up that color. I'm not going to do this on this butterfly because that's not the look I'm going for, but I did want to share that with you. And the butterflies that I'm using are made by our Tim Holtz butterflies. Let me show you the packaging on that. And I do have several butterfly dies. This is my absolute favorite, and this is the one I go to all the time. There is the SKU number on that. And I'm not going to leave any links, guys. You can search them on Amazon. You can Google, just about anywhere. Just Google it. You'll find it. And sometimes you'll find really good deals just by, instead of going to a certain site, but just Googling it, you might find the best deal. So anyway, but I picked up mine at Hobby Lobby, and I think it was on sale or something. So I cut them out. Now, I made this little paper bead for the body of my butterfly. Then I inserted the wire with the little antennas for the butterfly, and I'm going to show you how I made these, and we're going to make one right now. And all you need for that, again, you're going to just need a little piece of scrap paper. And let's say I want this to be, I'm just going to eyeball it. However wide you want your bead to be, that's how wide you leave the bottom. I don't want it real wide, so I'm going to do it little. This is probably a 1/2 inch. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut. And as you're cutting, you're going to, let me turn it this way. This is better. I start at the point over here, and I'm gonna cut at an angle to meet up with the cut I started already. Hopefully yeah. This is what you need. It's got to be wider at the bottom and let it taper to the tip. And I did add glossy accents to these to make the bodies shiny. So I'll show you how I did that. But anyway, here is the little strip of paper. And did I leave my tool over there? I think I did. I think I can do it on this one though. let me grab my other tool really quick because I think it's better for it. Hold on real quick. When you think you're ready to record a video and you're not. This is the tool that I use, and it is by, I think this is made by We Are Memory Keepers. I'm not for sure, but any tool that has a point, and I also use this to get the dies out of my, my paper die cuts out of my dies. So all you're going to do is kind of just run this through your fingers, hold it with your fingers and just curl it. And this is real simple to do, guys. And then I'm gonna put it on the edge of my tool, and I'm kind of bend it over that to round it. I want it to round, and I'm gonna work it back and forth to just kind of to get it started. See what I'm doing? I'm between my fingers. I'm just rolling it, and that's just kind of to start it off. I would imagine that you can use a quilling tool. So you want to keep it nice and tight, or as tight as possible. It can move. It's not a big deal. But just remember, according how tight you have it, that's how tight the center of your bead is going to be. Let me take that slither out. So you're just going to roll it. You can use a toothpick. You can use just about anything. And when you roll it, you want to keep your paper in the center. So all I'm doing is rolling it nice and tight, and the shorter the strip, of course, the more thinner the bead. Okay, I'm going to take it off before I get to the end, and the reason I'm going to do that, because on this last little piece, then you're going to add some glue. So I'm going to add some glue right here so it'll stay, it won't unravel on me. And then you're just going to, you know, just glue it down. And usually I just roll it back and forth. Hold on, let me cover my glue. And you want to make sure it's a nice round cylinder and not have any like bends in it. You don't want it to be square. You want it to be like a little barrel. So there it is. That's how I made the body of my butterflies. Let's do another one. I'm going to use a shorter piece of paper because I do want it to, and I'm going to angle it. I do want it to be a little bit more skinny. And like I said, this is a great way to use your scraps. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing as well. If I put this end of my paper on the body, see, I won't be able to tell that the width of this is wider than the body on my butterfly. And you kind of want it to be about the size of, I mean, it can be a little longer, but you really want to try and avoid that. So I'm going to taper it a little bit more at the bottom. That way it's not too big. Let's see. So that's all you want. You just want it in a little point. So I'm going to curve this, and let's try this one. Maybe this will be a little skinnier because I do want it to be skinny. And I'm just kind of making it curve by running it through my finger, holding it in between the tool and my finger. And it kind of curves it already for me. And I'm just going to start rolling it on my tool, making sure that my paper is in the center. You know, you can tell, see this paper, how it's coming apart? This is the Prima paper. It shows you the thickness of the paper, that this is, you know, a really good quality of paper, but you want to try and make sure that it doesn't come apart on you. And however colorful your paper is, that's how colorful your bead is going to be, your paper bead. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to add glue to the rest of this. I think I like the thickness in this one a little bit better because it is a little thinner. And I hope that I'm staying in frame, guys. And yes, I use the word guys a lot. That is just, It's just what I do. There we go. And I'm just going to roll it in between my fingers to make sure it's nice and glued down. And it is a perfect cylinder, a round cylinder. And it's not going to unravel or anything. So there it is. Now, what I did do to mine, I did add glossy accents. So I'm going to do that to this one and then just kind of show you the whole process of what I did. So here are my little scraps. See, I'm not going to throw these away because I can still get more bodies to my butterflies out of this. So I'm going to move them out of the way. But this is scrap right here. This is trash. I'm going to move that out of the way and I'm going to get my wire. Now this wire, I picked it up at AC Moore, but this is available at Joann's, at Michael's, anywhere. And anymore, they make it in different colors. This is more like a rose gold or a pink. Actually, it's called pink. And it's a 22 gauge wire. So I'm going to cut a little piece off for the body of my butterfly. And it doesn't have to be very long. And if you're making several of these, I would suggest cut a bunch of pieces the same length. That way all the antennas to your butterfly are the same. I kind of just eyeballed this. But once you cut your first one, you'll know how small you need it to be. Because remember, the body's really short. So all I do is kind of hold this in the middle and I'm going to bend it in half. And that kind of gives me where my antennas to my butterfly are straight. And I'm going to bend this curve. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I did turn away from the camera and all that good stuff. And I'm going to bend this. See how I'm bending it? Now, I like these little cutters that I have here. They have the pointy nose. They do cut in the center. Then they have a little notch right there. See that little notch right there? I hope y'all can see that. That's where I insert my little wire, and it holds it in place so I can close it up a little bit. Because I'm going to insert that into the body of my butterfly. So I'm going to give it a little squeeze and get it, you know, the hole's not very big, so I have to get it pretty closed. I didn't want it that closed, but we'll see. So there is my little piece right here, and all I do with that is I insert it into the center of the butterfly, and usually I leave it a little bit more open so it'll go in snug. So I'm going to open this a little bit because I want it to be snug when it goes in the barrel, but you can add, let's say, glossy accents or something before you put it in, and as a matter of fact, I'll do that right now so I can show you what I'm talking about. Just add a little bit. Let's see if this is not clogged up. Usually when I go to use this, it's always clogged up. And do I have a pen? A pen anywhere nearby? I don't see one. Let me use the tip of this. I'm just going to use the tip of my little wire I have here to unclog it. I always have this problem with glossy accents. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the glossy accents to the wire. Just a little bit, enough for it to glue in the body. And I'm going to insert this into the center hole on my butterfly. Let it go all the way in. You don't really want it to come out the other end, but see right there, you can see it a little bit. I think that's fine. So there is half the body already done. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that these are cut even, and I can tell they're not. So I'm just going to use my little pliers to even that out. The puppies are fighting. You hear that? Pearl's crying because Star won't let her into the bed. My dog won't let Abby's puppy go into the bed. So there are the little antennas. And all I do is, see, these are really skinny pliers, needle nose pliers. And I just kind of just put my tool, insert my tool, and just give it a curve. And just curve it to kind of round my antennas. And I'm going to do the same one on the other side. Now, because I put it here, wherever you put you curl your first one around, if you curl it at the tip, that's where you want to do the second one. If you curl it in the middle, you want to do it in the middle. If you curl it at the end, you want to do it at the end, so they all look the same. And I'm just going to curl that. Here's the little antennas, guys, and now I can just kind of open them up and give them a little bit more shape. There's the body to my little butterfly. Now, another thing that I did do I'm gonna move these out of the way. Is I added some glossy accents, and all I did was add a little bit and rubbed it with my finger, so it dries fairly quick. It dries fairly quick. See, I just put a little blob there, and I'm just gonna rub it with my fingers because I want the body to be nice and shiny, kind of to seal it. I guess you could do it with Mod Podge as well, but because I have the glossy accents already here, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just rubbing it on there. And I'm going to move these out of the way. Let me see if I can find something to hold them where they don't get on my table. So I'm going to take my little pliers and I'm going to put it there. That way when I set it down, see, it's not touching my table. It's holding it up until I get ready with the body. Now, to do the body, I already have my 2 pieces cut out. The Tim Holtz dies has 2 pieces. One is the silhouette, which is this, and then the other has the intricate cut. Now, what I'm going to do with this, and I didn't bring it with me again, I wanted to put a little clear dot in the center. You know what? It's not necessary because the body is kind of going to stick up. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm not going to do anything with that one. What I'm going to do with this one, I am going to add some diamond dust glitter, glass glitter on it. You can use any type of glass glitter. You can use any type of glitter. It doesn't matter. Glitter is pretty economical to buy. It's not really expensive. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it wherever. So all I'm going to do is with my glue, my art glitter glue, I'm going to add glue to the wings and just on the edges where I want there to be sparkle. And I just go around the very edge of my butterfly, the wings on my butterfly, and back to the body right here. And all I do is I dip it in the diamond dust. That's pretty much all I do. And there it is. There's your sparkle that you're looking for. See how pretty that is? And I'm going to do that in the other side. Just kind of flip it over. And I'm going to add the glue. Pearly. You know what she wants? I have to go over there, guys. Believe it or not. I have to go to the bed. And then she'll have the nerve to climb in. Because if I'm standing right there, she knows Pearl's not going to try to bite her. So here it is. I put it all the way around the wing. And I'm going to dip it inside. And look at how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that butterfly already is. And we didn't even do much to it. All we did was add a little bit of glue and dip it. So let me put my lid back on here. My little pin. And usually I tap it off. And sometimes I'll even just kind of touch it to kind of make sure it's nice and making contact with the glue. Hold on one second, guys. Let me take care of this issue with these puppies. They fight like their brother and sister. 1 second. Go. Get in. See, guys? That's all I had to do was get up and stand where she could see me. And she knew Star wouldn't do anything to her. Okay. So here's the bottom of the butterfly. And it comes with 2, and I will show you the difference. This butterfly has the shorter body. That's the one I'm using. But the other butterfly, this one right here, has the longer body. So that's how you tell the difference, which butterfly goes with which one. And I believe both of these are, the ones I have here are short ones. Yep, see, both of these line up. These are the short ones. And I am using 110-pound cardstock because I want my butterflies to be sturdy, especially the one that's filigree cut. I use the Prima paper because the Prima paper is pretty thick. And if you're using a paper that you like and it's not very thick, I suggest that you cut 2 of them and glue them together. So now I'm going to get the body and I'm going to add glue and I'm going to glue the bodies together. Excuse me?
Sorry, can I turn this on or no?
Close the door. So I'm going to glue these together. And all I did was add a little bit of glue, or you can add a clear glue dot, whatever you want to do. Let me pull it out of frame so I can adhere it. And the reason I'm putting it one on top of the other without adding the dimensional glue on the bottom is because the body is already dimensional. But look at how pretty that is. And when the recipient gets this, like I will leave it flat like this, but when the recipient gets it, they can actually fold it up. So now we're going to get the body, and with the body, I like to add the glossy accents in the center. And I'm going to add some glossy accents to the body right here in the center. Hopefully I won't get none on my table. And see, this butterfly doesn't have the antennas, which is great because I did the antennas on with the wire. But if it had it paper antennas, I probably would have cut them off. So here's my little, here's the little body that we made. And all we're going to do is find the side that you like the best. And I'm going to say this one, and I'm going to add the body right to the center. Let me pick it up a little bit so it won't get on my table. And I'm going to just position my the body to the butterfly where I want it. See how the length of the body is the length of the paper bead is the length of the body on the butterfly. How beautiful is that, guys? And it didn't take very much effort. Anybody would be happy to receive something like this. But again, like I said, it doesn't have to be the diamond dust. It can be any glitter. Even for the body, I'm going to show you other examples of what I made with my butterflies. So anyway, these are another embellishment that I'm using. And this is another paper line. And you can see the difference between both bodies. Whatever paper you use, that's what you're going to see, you know, the different colors. I think this would look real pretty if you did some kind of gold leafing on pieces of the body. It would be amazing. And I know people make jewelry out of this, but I didn't want it for jewelry. So I'm going to move these aside. Then I'm going to show you my other ones that I created. These are the first ones that I created. And these did have an antenna. And what I did with these is that I cut it off. Let me see. Let me share that die with you. I have it right here. Let me go ahead and share that die with you. The one we were working with was the Tim Holtz by Sizzix. And the other one was this piece right here. And this one by LDRS. That's what the cover looks like, and there is the item number. And see, these came with the little antennas on the die cut, and I just snipped those antennas off because I was doing my wire ones. But these are from LDRS Creative, and they were really cheap. I think they were on sale for $2 and change, something like that. Like, they're very economical. It's definitely something anybody, just about anybody, or anybody could do it, really, if they set their mind to it. So those are the other ones that I created. And then I created these right here. And the reason I want to share these with you, because just to show you that you can use just about anything for the center of the bodies. Right here I used the little 15-0 beads, seed beads, that are for beading, making bracelets and jewelry. And they're like this. And I think these came from Michael's. And I used this little fuchsia and then this aqua color on these butterflies. And the coloring, I actually just cut them out in white. I cut them out in white, and I added the embellishment mousse that my friend Sabrina, who is the TheSFactor studio, gifted me for my birthday. And so these embellishments that I'm creating are for her birthday challenge giveaway. So she is having an awesome giveaway. If you don't know who Sabrina is, I'm going to post her video in the description box. Also, Miss Becky Long is having a subby giveaway as well, and I'll post the link to her channel as well. And both giveaways are awesome. So anyway, these I'm making for Sabrina though. So I made these right here with just using the pink mousse that she gifted me by Nuvo. I added the beads in the center for the body, and I added some little bling in the I'm going to call it the flight pattern. These are not antennas. This is more like mimicking the flight pattern of the butterfly. So I added those colors in there. On this one is a side one that I made because I do have several butterflies. And like I said, I'm not going to give you links to any of that. I'm just telling you where I got that, where I bought them, or not really where I bought them, but what to look for. This one is not available anymore. And this might be my creative times. I'm not sure. You can check, but I'm not sure. And just Google butterfly dies, and it'll all come up. So that's another one. Again, I used the wire right there, but I used the bigger beads to make the body on this one. Again, using the pink wire, and it's real easy to maneuver. And then these down here, this I cut it out in 110-pound pink paper, and I didn't add anything to it but the white beaded body. These are really small seed beads, and I added the diamond dust around the wings. And then here's a light blue one, and I'm doing a variety of colors for her. That way she can use, no matter what she's doing, she'll have something to pick from. So not everything is going to be matchy-matchy like I like to do, because I want to give her a variety of colors, still in the, you know, that coordinate, but she can use it with different things. So this one was in the light blue. It had a lot of light blue going on in the paper, so I added the light blue beads for the body. And that is all that I have to share with you guys. I will share with you some of my other butterfly dies that I have. Here's a Cherry Lynn one. This one right here is by LDRS, and these are beautiful. This little tiny ones. This one is a gift from my friend Carolyn, who is Tea Time and Dolls. So it will work with any butterfly, any bee, any dragonfly, any type of flying insect that you have. Here's another one. This is again is an LDRS die, and these were really economical to buy, and they come with the silhouette and then the filigree work. And then here's my dragonflies, a gift from my friend Carolyn. So you can use just about anything. And then here's another dragonfly. I think I picked this up at AC Moore, and it comes with the silhouette, and then it comes with the intricate. So like I said, you can use it for any body of any insect, any flying insect. Thanks for watching. I hope that this helps the beginner crafters. Also, I do have, I wanted to say a little something about the swap. I think there's a bit of confusion on the swap, and some of you ladies are doing 4 swaps. And just let me know if you did do 4, what you want me to do with your extra one. I know some ladies have already told me what to do with their extra one, but I just don't want you to work harder than you really have to, because it wasn't necessary to do 4, because there was only 3 people per group. And then I have some that only sent 1 swap, and I'm either going to need you to send in another swap for your partner, or tell me what you want me to do. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone's having a great day, and God bless. Bye.